Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Laps Down podcast. My name is Andrea.
And I'm MJ.
And we are excited to be coming back to you guys on our last weekend for a while with no racing, but we still have a lot of good stuff to talk about. And if you haven't already, be sure to give us 5 stars on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you listen to. Thank you to everybody that subscribed to us on YouTube. We just hit 100 subs, and I know for most people that's probably like, okay, girl, go off, I guess. I don't know. But for me, big deal. Big deal. And also be sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram at Lapsdown Pod. On TikTok in particular this week, we're going to be going live for the lead up to the Daytona 500. So if you're a new NASCAR fan, you want to be a NASCAR fan, or you're an old NASCAR fan and you want to contribute to bringing new fans to the sport, come visit our live. We're going to be talking all about the duels, most likely, is what we're going to be live streaming. And we had a lot of fun when we live streamed the Bowman heat races. So I think it'll be a lot of fun again this time. And let's go ahead and get started. We're filming a little earlier today than usual because of the Super Bowl, which is also why there's no racing. But the Super Bowl has led to something very exciting, which is that IndyCar is going to have a Super Bowl commercial of Pato Award, just as Lapsdown suspected and predicted, because we're right about most predictions, because we're actually little motorsport psychics. What did you think of the Pato Award commercial?
I thought it was fine. I thought it was good. I think I liked that one better than the other two. Mm-hmm. It seemed chiller. It seemed more digestible to the masses. I liked it.
So Pato's was your favorite of the 3?
Probably. Yeah.
I think my favorite was the Joseph Newgarden one.
Yeah, I just can't get over the sperm thing. Right at the beginning.
But I think that's funny to men or something. I don't know. But me pretending I understand what men find funny. Yeah, I think they laughed maybe. But I just thought they did a very good job of building the character of Joseph Newgarden. It low-key got me hype about his maybe villainous arc a little bit. I thought it was quite good. Pato's I think was good for a fan favorite. That's the fan favorite edit. You know what I mean? I think they did a good job of being have you guys noticed that he's sexy? But not in a weird way. You know what I mean? They were just we're throwing it out there. He is also very hot. And I was thank you for reminding everybody. That's important. And they did a good job of the Indy 500. He's got to win it. He's got second place a couple too many times. It's very Pato lore drop in there. There was no weird sex references. That's good. Yeah, I guess that's about as good as you can ask for. Did we maybe lose a little bit of the hype as the commercials came out?
I really think that Polo won. I was eh.
Yeah, it killed the hype a little bit.
The Newgarden one, when it dropped randomly, I was hell yeah, race cars. Yeah. Polo one kind of killed it a little bit. And then I was sure that they were going to premiere the Pato one at the Super Bowl, but they didn't. They dropped it yesterday, but it does sound like that all 3 IndyCar commercials are going to be playing during the Super Bowl, which that would be exciting.
That's tea. That's crazy. That's airtime, bro. Fox is actually going all the fuck in then.
Ooh, I love it. I love to see it.
Ooh-wee. Yeah, I think that we maybe lost a little bit of the hype just because the first one was so, oh my God, I've never seen this sort of advertising for IndyCar before. That we the later ones we came to be okay, we get what's going on now. The hype is a little bit more dead for the commercials. But that's really exciting. They're going to show them at the Super Bowl. I feel some of the other drivers, they were commenting on all the other commercials, being oh my God, this one's so good. And I can't help but to think I think the other drivers that don't get one of these, there's a little part in their brain that's maybe next year, maybe next year I'll be the star of a commercial.
What do we have to do to get a Connor Daly commercial?
Oh, I'll sign.
I think he would be next. Do you think?
Can we get a change.org petition going for one of those Connor Daly commercials? I'll sign
Fox,
it.
Please.
I think David Malukas would be a good one. He would be very here's your Gen Z representation.
I do fear that it would actually be Santina Ferrucci would get the next one.
Not by our doing.
No. Never me. Fox.
It's a punishment, probably. It's a punishment.
Townsend Bell's in their ear going, hey, you seen Ferrucci recently?
I think we should
Maybe
get a
you should
Scott
them.
Dixon one. I can't believe we don't have a Scott Dixon one.
That's
want it.
true.
I want a Scott Dixon one. So yeah, that's probably, if you ask me right now who should get one next year, Connor Daly, David Maluka, Scott Dixon. That's the trio I want. But do you know, like in America's Next Top Model, can't believe I'm bringing this up for I think a second episode in a row, where they would like have a competition, and if you did good in the competition, you got like a CoverGirl commercial or something like that. I think that it should be like we pick some random race on the calendar, and whoever wins it wins a commercial.
That would be so good. Be like, you win the Milwaukee Mile. Guess what?
Yeah, like
you're a Fox star.
We need to start like upping the stakes at like just random fucking races. And I think that that would be so fun to
so
be like,
funny.
if you win, you get a commercial. Because like, I think that people like Connor Daly, they low key would be like, all right, I guess I'm going to have to crash out half the field so I can get this fucking commercial. Period. Do it.
Yeah. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Tyra Banks comes out. Standing before me are 2 IndyCar racers, but only one picture in my hand. Connor Daly. Congratulations. Wow. You get the commercial. Wow. That's fucking cinema. Okay. Yeah. Let's do that. But yeah, I think that that's really cool that they're doing all 3 during the Super Bowl. And I just posted, well, okay, this is going to come out after the Super Bowl, so I guess it doesn't matter. Hopefully you guys told everybody at your Super Bowl parties to shut the fuck up and listen to the commercial. That's your duty as an IndyCar fan. But also related to TV, we heard some rumors that there will be no more 100 Days to Indy. What is your thoughts on that, MJ?
Rats. Shoot. I think, truthfully, I think they're going to replace it. I think they're going to replace it with like the NASCAR full speed style or a F1 DTS thing. I just think that the 100 Days to Indy was so much production and work for just, it didn't do what it was supposed to do.
Yeah. I think that they realized like we are not getting the sort of payout out of our TV show that other series are. So we must be doing something wrong. So yeah, I think that they're like, you know what? We're putting all this money and effort and time into a TV show that actually nobody is viewing. It's kind of like those like random shows on the CW that I'm like, who's this for? That was 100 Days to Indy. You know what I mean?
What is
I'm
it?
like,
it's like the Secret Circle. They're giving it the Secret Circle treatment.
Yeah, like it's like, wow, this is so much production value for something nobody's
watching.
That's so crazy. So yeah, they gotta like up the drama, I think, if they're gonna do a TV show. Like nobody, like I think the 100 Days to Indy was like too optimistic in its like framing. Like it was always kind of like, yeah, like everybody's just here to have a good time and like somebody's dream is going to come true. And it's like, okay, well, this isn't fucking Disneyland. Okay. Like I want to see I want to see the fights. I want to see the drama. I want to see the down bad fucking driver that's like ready to lose their mind if they don't win the Indy 500. Like that's kind of what I want more than just like, I hope everybody has a good time.
The season long narratives in IndyCar, I feel like personally, are so much better sometimes than the Indy 500 narratives. And they were just like willingly not doing it. But it came out before NASCAR Full Speed did. So they didn't know what they could do. You know?
They didn't know we were doing all that.
Yeah. They were like, oh, I thought the American series were just kind of like, just doing like a little bit. And then NASCAR is like full speed, 24-hour Tubi channel.
Yeah.
Whatever else NASCAR does. And so it's time for IndyCar to step up.
Is a rumor that IndyCar is doing like a similar thing with the 24-hour Tubi channel. Oh no. The worst part is that they're calling it like IndyCar Live, and then according to the comments on the Reddit, it's like they're not going to show the races live. Like the name is completely misleading. They're going to just show like maybe the races on a 24-hour delay, and then also like a bunch of old races and stuff. So
yeah,
maybe
so that's.
We can like get the podcast on the Tubi channel and whatever the IndyCar channel is.
That'd be amazing. How are we supposed to decide between the NASCAR channel and the IndyCar channel? Because I have the NASCAR 24-hour channel on every single day, most of the day, in the background. How, like, they're going to make me choose between?
Yeah, I think that they need to start, like, competing for our interest. We need to know, like, what you guys are playing on both channels so that we can decide who we're watching that day. Like, I need it to be like, let's compete for viewership. Let's make it serious here. I'll watch whatever channel has laps down on it.
So true. Whichever channel I don't have to see a bunch of erectile dysfunction and Candy Crush
Ads.
commercials on, I'll watch that one.
Something tells me that might be both of them.
Ugh.
Unfortunately.
Rats.
But you watched Full Speed. You were bored enough that you finally brought yourself to watch it. Are you going to watch the new season when it comes out?
I still have one, full transparency, I still have one episode left.
Okay.
But I absolutely will be tuning in. I didn't realize it kind of gives the same effects. Like when I was watching DTS or tried to, I made a solid attempt, I promise, to watch DTS. It felt more like a reality show. Like there's like a long like drama storyline. Whereas I feel like NASCAR Full Speed is just like, it's only hype videos. Like it's like high highs, low lows. You don't really get the stuff in the middle, and it's like so short. It's only like 5 episodes, like hour-long episodes or 40 minutes or whatever.
And it's just playoffs.
It's just playoffs, which I wish I knew that. I didn't realize that. That would have been super helpful when I was trying to figure out like what the fuck a NASCAR playoff looked like. They do explain it for anyone who wants to watch the Full Speed. They literally explain the NASCAR playoffs, so highly recommend. But it kind of gave the same vibe as like a football hype video, like they play before like college football. And so, I don't know, it just made me really excited for the NASCAR season. So I think I'll probably tune in.
It does give like a little bit about the like characters of NASCAR. It is like very focused on very specific people. And I think it's because it's like the people that were willing to be filmed. And hopefully if Full Speed like gets more popular, more drivers will be willing to like invest a little bit more time into Full Speed. It definitely seemed like the initial season, they really could only get like Denny Hamlin, and then Denny Hamlin like forced his Joe Gibbs Racing friends or like his 2311 drivers onto it and was like, stand in front of the camera. But it definitely like leaves out a lot of the other characters of NASCAR, and hopefully more people will be willing to participate further. Not Chase Elliott, though. He's already said not a chance. There's not a number in the world I think, to get that man.
He's different now. Remember he went and he did a little bit. Yeah, and sometimes he'll take the phone from the social media admin and say, "Hey guys, I'm Chase Elliott. I just won Bowman Gray. Stay tuned." And I was like, whoa, that most popular driver.
Yeah.
Behavior.
He's up in the ante. He's like actually like he's running a full blown election for most popular driver this year. Maybe he feels like it threatened. Like he can feel it closing in on him, and he's like, fine, I'll fucking do an Instagram reel. Give me the phone. And I love that.
This is what it takes. If he deserves most popular driver this year, I will gladly vote for him, but he has to convince me.
Yeah. Actually, I think that this year is the year, like it's a play for who can be most popular driver, who's going to earn our vote. And I'm open-minded to it being Chase Elliott if I feel a real effort.
I feel like a lot of the new fans that like we've been watching with recently have been like, Chase seems pretty cool, you know? Mm-hmm. Like he seems, because they didn't experience anything pre the incentivizing from NASCAR to do marketing. They didn't see that Chase Elliott. They're getting this Chase Elliott. And if they think he's the most popular driver, I mean, who am I to say nepotism, you know?
Yeah, he can still change our mind. Speaking of TV shows related to racing, Drive to Survive is coming out soon. What's your verdict on watching that? Yay or nay? She says
probably not. No.
Yeah. I will watch it for the both of us because I want to see the silly season drama behind the scenes. I have to say, people that are upset about the realism of Drive to Survive, like we have to get past that. Like we have talked about it now for like 7 seasons. Like we understand it's not real.
If you wanted the realism, you would watch the season. Don't watch the show for something it's not. It is a show. It is a dramatization. It is for the narratives. It's not for the racing. Stop being weird. Just stop being weird. Just don't watch it if you don't want to watch it.
Yeah. It's okay. Nobody's forcing you. I will be tuning in because every episode, out of like the full hour-long episode, there's probably like 5 minutes worth of true behind the scenes shit that we did not know happened before this show came out. And I watch for that. So I will watch for the both of us, and I will pick out the gold in there.
Yeah, just send me a timestamp. I'll watch those.
Yeah, I'll do that. And I'll do that for all you guys, too, if you don't want to watch Drive to Survive, but you just want the little timestamp and the little nugget of gold of drama that it unveils. Hey, That's why I'm here. I'm really interested to see what storylines they pick. They always pick the worst storylines, in my opinion, to do like full episodes on. Like, I'm sure there'll be some bullshit, like probably 3 episodes about Alpine. And you'll be like, what? Why did we pick this? There'll be at least 3 episodes about Alpine. Maybe 1 episode about papaya rules, which will be fine.
Wouldn't it be funny if they don't even mention it?
Yeah, that's
like they were like, we weren't in their garage that weekend.
Sorry.
Can't wait to see Lando's win with Trump in the background. Just the whole episode.
Yeah,
wow.
we got to get the raw footage of that so we can finally let that go to rest. People arguing whether or not a British man who's never lived in the United States would vote for Trump.
People just be talking about things. People,
yeah.
I was kind of saying earlier this week, just with all the drama, I don't know if you guys are on like F1 TikTok, F1 Twitter or whatever, but it does seem like if you were a fan of any other motorsport during the F1 off season, just like let them be. They're going through a hard time.
Yeah.
Don't poke the bear, because anything that like kind of pisses them off, it's like, it's a huge thing because they have so much time on their hands and it's a very high emotional time for them. And they're just like not having F1 on.
So they find like little things to bicker about. It's quite funny, actually. One thing that we're not going to spend any time on, I'm just going to say it happened. We're both going to roll our eyes and then say that's stupid and then move on. Apparently the FIA is trying to discover whether or not they can stop radios from being broadcasted for swearing purposes.
I think they should stop radios, period. Thoughts?
Say more.
I think, what if we just let the drivers drive?
Right.
Then there's no issues.
That won't be good for me because I like the issues. I like it when we start issues.
You think that it wouldn't be fun if we were just like, okay, no radios, period. Drivers don't get the radios. Race engineers don't get radios. You cannot communicate with your team. You just have to figure it out.
Not just that we are not hearing it, that it doesn't exist.
Why do we have to lose it if they're the ones having the issue? If they're swearing on the radio, they lose the radio. We should, why are we being punished? Thoughts?
Yeah, they have to, use, fucking, flashes of light or something to communicate to come into pit.
Yeah, we could give them headlights. I think, if we remove the large space probably it takes to put a radio in there, we could put a headlight in there.
I wish I knew how radios worked. Anyways, MBS, you fucking suck, dude. You suck so hard. I literally hate you. I literally want to run for FIA president just to make you lose. Everything you do upsets me. You ruin my life. You ruin the sport I love. And I hope you never find peace in that they cuss every single press conference all year and your life is miserable. Ding. Just for you, buddy. That's how I feel. The other thing for us to get mad about, because there's nothing happening in F1, I'm personally mad about this. Toto Wolff gave an interview and he was talking about Valtteri and he says, we are Mercedes. So maybe the nude calendar is not on anymore. So we've said that we need to we've said that, but we need to keep him authentic. And if he wants to keep the ugly mullet, then he should. HR, get involved.
There is no HR in F1.
How dare you say that about Valtteri? He found just a fucking nugget of happiness away from your team. And you're going to act like Mercedes is too high and mighty for a nude calendar and a mullet? Who the fuck do you think you are? Huh, Toto? Huh? Do you want to fucking fight? Why would you say such a thing? He's the only thing making your team likable at this point in time. You have child labor and George Russell. That's not a stellar driver lineup as far as likability, okay? You literally got rid of the best driver that has ever been on your team and probably ever will be on your team and has the best fan base. And so now they all hate you. And the one thing making you likable again is Valtteri Bottas. And you're going to say some shit about his ass and his mullet. I've had it. I've had it up to here with you, Toto. I'm literally Tyra Banks again. Never in my life have I yelled at a woman like this.
We were rooting for you.
We were all rooting for you. I don't know. I just think it's unfair. I think he should be able to do the naked calendar. It's actually, he's not even naked in it. He wears hats.
Yeah, no, it's...
Every month
it's
he has
tasteful.
A different hat. Yeah, it's tasteful. Not that you would know taste if it smacked you in the face. Because now you guys
Get
are all
'em.
going to be like fucking around in these little Adidas jumpsuits. You guys are going to look like Sue Sylvester from Glee. You wouldn't know taste if it hit you in the face, Toto. I've had it. Take that. Okay. Anything further to say about Toto? Or have I said it
No.
all?
You covered it pretty well.
Period. Okay. Glad I got that off my chest. Here's some extra tidbits of news. We have Ford announcing at their season kickoff. That looked very fun, by the way. Ford.
Oh,
I would love to come in the future. It looks like you guys can really throw a party.
you can just apply on the website. We'll do it for next year. All you have to do is apply.
I think we should be there. Just a thought. Ford announced that they are returning to WEC and Le Mans. Maybe IMSA in the future. Who knows? You seemed really you loved this. Talk about it, MJ. Give us the tea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like what you said, they're coming back to WEC, gonna do Le Mans 2027 in an LMDH car. And what's exciting about this is not only we're reigniting the Ford versus Ferrari, which is always exciting, I think, as a
They made a whole
patriot.
movie about it. Yeah, they made a whole movie. Yeah.
Movie,
got the hits.
books, you know? But also, it does bring up the question of whether or not we could see Max Verstappen doing Le Mans because of the Ford Red Bull collaboration. I thought that might be exciting because you were talking about, what did he tested a
Yeah,
Acura
he did
or something?
the in like the Honda YouTube channel. They like uploaded him like fucking around in the Acura, and he was like talking about like, oh, this is like my sim setup. He was having such a blast, man. I've never seen that man smile that way in an F1 car. He was having so much fun.
Well, we might get to see it soon. We might get to see it soon.
Chloe Chambers, can she do it?
Yeah, because she'll be Ford, right? Okay, ideal Le Mans lineup.
Just ideal lineup. Doesn't Austin Cindric drive for the Ford team in Rolex 24? So can he be part of the team with his mustache?
Okay, here's what we got so far. Here's what we're working with.
Okay.
Max Verstappen,
Mm-hmm.
and then the GOAT, Chloe Chambers,
Mm-hmm.
Austin Cindric,
With mustache.
crazy, for
Must
like
have mustache.
aerodynamic purposes.
Yeah.
And we need one more. Yuki? No, because he's not Ford.
Yeah, no, they hate him too. I don't know if that's
Maybe like Will Brown from Supercars. Oh, but he drives Ferrari and whatever. I don't care. It's not about them. It's about us.
I mean, like, those three are good enough. Like, we could just
They could do it with just three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
cool.
So Austin Cindric plus mustache, Max Verstappen, Chloe Chambers. Totally sane, normal, and also good lineup for Le Mans.
Yeah. You guys are laughing, but when they win, then
You're
what?
welcome.
Yeah,
Literally,
I was
you're
going to say.
welcome.
So that's exciting. Ford also revealed the Mustang Mach-E demonstrator, which is a electric vehicle. We love an electric vehicle. And it was really funny. I was reading like one of the like interviews from them, and they're like, no. Like NASCAR is not going to get like an electric, like we're not replacing any of the series with this electric vehicle. But we did make it awfully similar to one of these next gen cars, and like it could adapt to any regulations NASCAR wanted to do, like if you're interested. But it's a super cool car. Right now it's just a demonstrator, so basically all they're going to do is go out on tracks and demonstrate. But it did spark the question through the NASCAR community, like at what capacity would we be interested, like as fans, in an EV series?
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, don't let it replace anything. Like have it tag along as like its own series, which I thought would be interesting. I don't know if NASCAR is at the place to move to like an EV series, because I think it's Ford and Chevy. I think it's Chevy. Both operate with like fully electric vehicles, but then you've got like Toyota who does more of like a hybrid situation. So maybe that's like the more practical step is like hybrid and then one day EV. But it's not gonna
replace
there's
NASCAR.
there's no talks of it replacing. Please do not get your panties in a twist. Like, you will be fine. You'll still hear those sweet, sweet engine noises that you fall asleep to every night. Like,
Yeah.
But it's a cool car. It's a cool car.
The electric vehicle is not going to hurt you. It's okay. She's not here to hurt you. She's just a cool vehicle, separate entirely from your sweet, sweet engine noises. That's so important to clear up, MJ. Yeah. I think it's good to talk people down from absolutely losing their mind over that. That's good.
It'll be fine. We're all in this together. And it wouldn't just happen randomly. I love how, like, anytime anything's announced, they're like, well, you can't do it now. I'm like, well, no, they wouldn't introduce a full electric series the week before the Daytona 500, but that was a good point to point out. Yeah, you couldn't do it now.
Yeah, that's important to address, that we could not do it now. Thank you very much for putting that out there. Well, hey, they're just being, like, responsible. Just making sure that we all don't introduce a fully electric vehicle version of NASCAR the week before Daytona.
They're asking the questions that nobody else is asking. And the reason nobody else is asking it is because they know that's not going to happen. But, if you don't hear someone asking those questions, you got to ask them.
Yeah. Speaking of, there's no transition there. I tried. There's not one. NBC Sports said it averaged 901,000 viewers for the Rolex 24's 3 windows that aired both on TV and on Peacock, up to 140% year-over-year increase on streaming. I wish I knew what that meant, but it does sound good.
It does sound good.
But I feel like a lot of people tuned into the Rolex 24 this year. I don't know if it's normally like that because people are just, like, bored with the off season, but I think a lot of people tuned in, and I think that will just grow the event a little bit more, for at-home viewers. I think it's mainly because people like the kind of all-stars lineup aspect of it. Like, just seeing people from all these different series come together. And I think that is good for IMSA overall. Like, getting more people to view even just that one race could get people to maybe be more interested in the IMSA races that happen alongside the IndyCar races. Like, you're going to a race and you're like, oh, hell yeah. Like, IMSA's the support race. Like, I'm tuned in now. I want to learn more about it.
I'm not going to say IMSA did a really good job promoting the Rolex 24 or the Rolex 24 promoting itself, but I think the teams went really hard on promoting. Like, we saw a lot of IndyCar teams promoting it. I mean, the reason I knew that Trackhouse was going to be there is because Trackhouse was promoting it.
Yeah.
So I think if they keep with that, you could do that for genuinely any of those endurance races.
Okay, so talking so much about NASCAR and Daytona 500, we should actually just talk about the Daytona 500. Do you want to talk about the Daytona 500?
Let's talk about the Daytona 500. So I was worried. I was a little bit. We kind of shared the same sentiment where we're like, I know it's a different format. It's probably gonna be hard and confusing. Yeah. But so I did the work of looking it up for us so that we can all be in on it together.
And I did the work of playing the part of the audience learning about it for the first time.
Yes. Equally important.
Or if you already know about it, you can do what you usually do where you listen to see if we got it right.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun game we play. I think everybody has a good time.
And if we get it wrong, that's your opportunity to let us know how we got it wrong so we don't continue to do it.
Perfect. Yeah, it's so fun.
So starting off, there will be 40 or 41 cars that are going to race in the Daytona 500 on Sunday. And that is because there are 36 chartered cars, which means those cars automatically get to race. And then we've got 9 non-chartered cars entering. So typically there would be 4 non-chartered cars that would qualify into the race. However, since Elio Castroneves, who is driving the number 91 for Trackhouse, since he's doing the OEP, which we talked about in our previous episodes, he gets to automatically race if he doesn't qualify. So if he qualifies, there's just going to be those 4 cars racing. If he doesn't qualify, which would be crazy, but I do think it'd be funny if he didn't qualify, then we'd have those 5 non-chartered cars, which would be a 41 car grid.
Did you see the brake code video about Jimmy Johnson? It's basically like talking about how he got this like fancy Carvana sponsorship and Shaq is like involved, and like they do this whole like promo commercial with Shaq in it being like, catch this car with like the Shaq Dunkman on it at the Daytona 500. Here's the date and time of that race. And it's like, well, he's one of those people that could not be in it, right, if he doesn't qualify. So that's
he has to qualify.
He does not get the like, you're a fancy person OEP, you get to race automatically. So what do you think he like fibbed a little bit to Carvana
to get the spot? Be like, no, yeah, your car will be on TV for the Daytona 500. Yeah, like we're
probably.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, there's a chance it's not, but like we won't tell him that.
Slim chance. Yeah. That's so funny.
Shaq's gonna be so pissed.
No, don't disappoint Shaq. I feel like Jimmy Johnson, though, probably has a pretty good chance.
Rapport with Shaq.
Oh, well, not only that. Yeah, sure. I think him and Shaq are actually super close, so it like really shouldn't be an issue.
Okay, you were talking about he has a good chance of making the Daytona 500. I was talking about he has a good rapport with Shaq. Yeah. So that's good that we cleared both of those things up.
He should be fine.
Yeah. Either way, it'll work out probably, maybe.
It'll be fine. So I'm not going to name all of the like non-chartered drivers, but a few to mention. Obviously, we talked about Elio Castroneves. He's an Indy 500 winner. We have Jamie Johnson, who we just talked about, NTJ, who just retired, Justin Allgaier, who is the car that I'm cheering for, he's like has like a Chris Stapleton car.
Oh, the Traveler Whiskey car
with Junior Motorsport. And then we have Corey LaJoie, he's kind of in hot water right now. So it's just going to be, it's an interesting group that's trying to qualify in. So
we also, we appreciate the people that tuned into our TikTok live the other day and gave us the Corey LaJoie tweet. That was because necessary. Like, I think that NASCAR fans are starting to appreciate us as like people that they can like spill tea to. Like, they can talk about things that they enjoy talking about to an audience that is engaged but also knows nothing about it, which like means like we are prime audience for that sort of drama. Put it our way. We want to hear it.
Yes, exactly. So we were filled in on like the kind of his past and like his dad in Xfinity and like him just openly shitting on Xfinity and trucks recently. Anywhoosie, after going on that tirade, he will be attempting to qualify for the Daytona 500. So keep your eyes out for that.
He's like that meme. Like, hey, how y'all doing?
Literally,
just like awkwardly walking in after he just shit on like everybody in their entire lives.
It's literally the Brittany Broski sound. That's like, are you guys mad at me because I set up the nuclear
reactor?
Yeah.
A classic MJ sound. Hey, what's up, everybody? Pretend like if you're watching on YouTube, not everything is completely different about the way we look and the lighting and the time of day and everything. We just had like a little technical difficulty. It's like really nothing. And we are going to get back to the Daytona 500, but it's also currently Super Bowl time. They just showed the Pato commercial as Philadelphia scored. And me and MJ have cracked the code of exactly what's going to happen tonight. Every time Philadelphia scores, they're going to show the IndyCar commercials. And then every time Kansas City scores, what are they going to show, MJ?
They're going to show the F1 Brad Pitt movie commercials.
Because they're training your brain. Like, this is good. This is good behaviors.
They're Pavloving us. Yeah.
Philadelphia scoring equals IndyCar equals good. Kansas City scoring, now you have to watch Brad Pitt make out with some girl, which is apparently what the new trailer is for some reason. Nobody wants to see that, just like nobody wants to see Kansas City score. Wow, Fox.
And I know we had a whole like episode like ripping apart motorsport marketing, but that is such high level like psychology marketing. Like, wow.
That's good stuff. Okay. Do you want to get back to the Daytona 500? Do you want to talk about how the qualifying is going to work?
Yes, let's talk about qualifying. So it is pretty simple. We have covered the qualifying format before. On Wednesday, February 12th, we are going to have our Cup Series qualifying at 8:15 p.m. EST, and you can watch it on FS1, the same as the heat races last weekend. And it is just a single car qualifying. Easy peasy. Fastest two cars are going to set the front row. And then the fastest two non-chartered cars are going to get it, like, guarantee a spot. So, like, they're for sure qualifying somewhere. That's it. That's all that's happening that night. All right. And then we move on Thursday, February 13th, on Galentine's Day, if you celebrate, if that's something you observe.
Hey,
get your girls together, get some wine.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you guys are celebrating Galentine's Day by watching Daytona 500.
Yeah.
Come on, I want to know. Come on,
We
guys.
will be.
Yeah, we will.
So we're going to have 2 dual races. And the first dual race, which again, similar to last week when we had like the heat race situation. First dual race is going to be on at 7 p.m. EST, obviously, on FS1. And it is a 60 lap qualifying race. And so all of the odd positions from qualifying, so 3, 5, and so on. That's as many odd numbers I can get in before I have to start like using my fingers.
Yeah.
The odd numbers. And so all the odd numbers from qualifying are going to be in duel number 1, and that's going to set the inside lane. Makes sense? And then duel number 2, even positions from qualifying, it's going to set outside lane.
Wow. Do we have a one that you want to be on more? Whatever. We'll leave that to the pros. I don't really care. We'll figure that out when we get there.
Yeah, that's none of our business. That's for them to decide. We're not here for strategy. But the highest finishing non-chartered car in each duel will secure a spot. So that's how we're going to have either 4 or 5 chartered cars. Non-chartered cars, my apologies, in the race. And then on February 16th, we have the Daytona 500 at 2:30 p.m. EST on Fox. 200 laps. Big hell yeah vibes is what I put in my notes. Because it's the Daytona 5. Like, what else do you need to know? You know?
I think those are the vibes that they're shooting for. So I think your notes are very appropriate and well researched,
Hell yeah.
MJ. Hell.
Thanks.
What else is there? What else is there to say?
You know what? Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. So that is exciting. I have a question for you that you might not know the answer to. And it kind of transitions into our next topic, which is so
perfect.
Fun. I love giving you questions that you didn't research or prepare for, and then
me too.
Letting people in the comments answer it for us. That's my favorite part of the pod. So NASCAR announced that they are going to have a fastest lap award that will award points, much like if you are a Formula One fan, the rule that we just got rid of. It's that, but for NASCAR now. It is sponsored by Xfinity. And my question for you is that taken into effect right now? Like, are we going to do that for Daytona, or does nobody know?
So I don't know, but I would assume so. That's my answer. My answer is it is immediate implementation. And so, because this is the first race of the season, because that's kind of what we do in American Motorsport Series. We're like, what if we just did it now? Hey, besides the EV thing you spoke about.
Not that.
Not that.
Clarified. But like, what if, hey, I have a really good idea. What if we do it right now? Okay, go.
Yeah. They're like, I like this so much. Let's just do it. Like, we have the password to the Google Doc that has all the rules on it. What if we just like added it in?
So, it is sponsored by Xfinity. And I think that you cracked the marketing code for that one as well.
Oh yeah. This is fully so they get out of the car, they get told, hey, you got the Xfinity Fast Lap Award, and they go, I felt good in the car was fast, but it was not as fast as Xfinity Internet. Fireworks in the background. People don't even care about the winner at that point.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't care about the winner. Yeah, I definitely want to know who's going to get that Fastest Lap Award. I think that this is a lot of pressure, though, for them to deliver that line. I'm a bit worried, like, do you think that they got they're practicing right now? My fear is, like, we're going to have somebody really sweet and endearing win it, and then they're going to, like, stutter a little bit on it. Like, they're going to be like, I'm pretty fast. Internet is really fast, too, but particularly of the Xfinity variety, I would say is probably the fastest. Also, my little Mobile One Toyota car, because Christopher Bell's probably going to win it, you know what I mean?
Right. I knew you were going there.
Like, I think that one's pretty fast. Is there any other sponsor? They like turn to their like people on their. Is there any other sponsors that I was supposed to say something about? And they're like, no, Christopher, you did just what you were supposed to. Delightful as always. And then he just feels bad about it for the rest of the night. You know what I mean? That's what I'm worried about.
That I think that's a really real concern, especially because the Cup Series guys don't do it as much as they do have to say it in Xfinity, the Xfinity Series, obviously. So they'll be fine. I'm not well, if they win, they get to say it. So some of them get to say it.
Some of them have practiced more than others, yeah.
Sure, that's That's a nice way of saying it. Yeah.
Right. Speaking of Xfinity and the Xfinity series and everything Xfinity happening in the Xfinity part of the Xfinity series, is there anything? There's nothing changing there, right? It'll be the Xfinity series probably forever, right? Because it's so like integral to the process and the naming and the title of it.
Wrong. No.
Oh,
so actually,
shit.
shoot, Xfinity is gone after this year. It's not gone. It's still going to sponsor the series. It still sponsors 2311. There's a Tyler Reddick ad coming out soon. I don't know why it told me that, but I said, that's hell yeah vibes. So it'll still be sponsoring the Cup series. It is no longer going to be the title sponsor for the Xfinity series.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have been hypothesizing what it's going to be, and a lot of people want it to go back to the Busch series, which I think, okay, can I say something about beer and like the driving
Of it all.
ness?
Yeah.
Like, it feels funny, and I understand that's how it's been for a long time, but I was like, hey, that's actually crazy to name a driving series after an alcoholic beverage, but oh, and then also after it was the Busch series, before it was Xfinity, it was the Nationwide series, and I was like, no, that makes sense. Like car insurance?
Yeah, no, that one makes sense. In F1, they have like the alcohol-free version of the alcoholic brands, which always took me a really long time to figure out what was going on here. I was always like, why are we specifically talking about the 0% version of all of these beers? But then they were like, well, we don't want kids to drink or like drinking or driving or whatever. But this actually does transition me into something I need to ask your question about. So you particularly liked the new Ross Chastain Busch commercial that they're airing around the Super Bowl. If you haven't seen it, they're like wandering around in the woods, like, oh, we're like walking in circles or something. And then Ross pops out of a tent. He's like, what's wrong? We're going around in circles. And like, it's okay, Ross. Like, go back to sleep.
He's like in a tent on top of his car. It was really cute. I liked it.
And they're like, it's like, okay, Ross, don't stress. Nobody's harming a watermelon. You're okay. Like, go back to bed. That's not exactly what happened. But I have my favorite commercial in all of motorsports that also happens to be a driver and beer. And that is the Max Verstappen Heineken commercial. Yeah. And I have to put you in a tough situation. Like, which one is better? Like, real talk. Like, I literally have like a reaction when I see the Max Heineken one. Like in Vegas, I literally couldn't help myself. I scrumped a scream when I saw it on the screen. I couldn't. It's like my favorite commercial. I love it so much. For those who don't know, it's like the joke is like, who's gonna drive? And Max is like, fuck, I'm pretty good at driving.
Yeah,
that's
and he's
the
like
joke.
driving the little minivan around. Oh, okay. I love the Ross Chastain commercial. It brings me so much joy. I have sought out the Heineken commercial.
Yeah,
I have
watched it on
looked
YouTube.
it up on YouTube. So, unfortunately, yeah. Ross, we could get you one there. We could get you there one day to like the Heineken. No. I don't think we
There's
could.
something about seeing Max in clothes that aren't racing clothes, that it feels important in a way that Ross is in his like racing suit, in his car, in the woods. That's how we see Ross often. There's something about seeing Max Verstappen in clothes that are not Red Bull clothes, that it feels Super Bowl commercial worthy.
Yeah, I agree. Also, if Ross Chastain weren't in his racing suit, I'd be like, that's just a dude.
Yeah.
It's different with Max Verstappen. I'm like, oh, that's Max Verstappen.
I know him.
I know that guy.
Okay, I was thinking about that, and I was like, I have to get to the bottom of it with MJ, because I thought we were on the same page about the Max Heineken thing, and I just wanted to make sure it wasn't being replaced. Like, the Xfinity is being replaced as the sponsor. See how I wrapped that back on? Brought it back on topic. Wow, yeah, guys.
You amaze me.
Yeah, podcasting's like fucking my thing. Okay, you also put something about NASCAR updating their rules and punishments.
Specifically for the manufacturers, which is a prolonged conversation because they really did Christopher Bell dirty. And so they updated it. I'm going to tell you the section in case you can ever find the rule book for NASCAR, because it's like under lock and key, which is a common gripe I have with NASCAR, the fact that they don't allow the public to see their rule book. And you can argue with me until the cows come home. That's a hill I'll die on. Yeah. It's section 10.5.2.8.c. So if you ever want to look it up.
There's like 9 more sections than I thought they would have in that rule book.
It's just, I would have thought I would have just been like bullet point 2.
Yeah, it's just a numbered list. It's just
2
a
period
giant numbered list.
For all we know, this is the only one with like a section number. But so penalties for the OEMs can include, but are not limited to, loss of 25 to 30 manufacturer points, which that's a big deal. Loss of 30 to 60 wind tunnel hours, which that's a lot of hours. Loss of 250 to 500 RCFD test runs, which is the restricted computational fluid dynamics that we talked about. It's like Aero. I'm just like, it's like Aero. It's like not that hard.
600 minutes.
Right. You don't want
That's how many minutes that they would lose.
Seasons of loss. Dark. Anyways,
I
loss
tried to
of
make
2
it
to
a
4.
musical podcast. This is what you've always wanted. I was trying to plug
That was really good.
Yeah,
And then the loss of 2 to 4 vehicle tests. So
that's some hunks.
I was kind of excited because I was like, oh no, they actually like did something. Like, I don't see NASCAR having an issue and then fixing it very often, like thoroughly, but this feels okay, NASCAR. I don't want to ever give NASCAR too much kudos though, because I don't want them to think I like them. But that's they popped off.
Well, we did say in live the other day what they could do to get us to like them. We had a conversation in live that if they could get Checo to the Mexican City race, we would not give them shit for a full 48 hours. So I'm gonna say good job, ish, but we're withholding any actual praise until we see Checo in a NASCAR Cup car, OEP to Mexico City.
I think that's fair enough.
Good job on having sections and numbered bullets in your rulebook.
Good job in doing the bare minimum and thinking about an issue before it happens. Again.
Yeah. Still doesn't stop me from being hurt about what you did to my boy, Christopher. Nothing will really fix that. I just had to lay down the law so that later when we're nice to them about the Checo thing, it's like a real incentive. You know what I'm saying, MJ? I appreciate you telling me about the rules. It does sound really interesting. I just I wanted to clear things up and be serious with NASCAR. I don't want them to get too cocky.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, cool. What else do we have before NASCAR? We had the Tubi channel. We talked a little bit earlier in the podcast. You don't probably remember because we had to take a little break because of the technical difficulties.
Oh,
We did at one point talk about the erectile dysfunction and the Candy Crush commercials.
Oh, yes.
That you get.
Yeah, famously.
What else have you experienced on the NASCAR Tubi TV channel?
I have it on a lot. And so, for the most part, I enjoy it. Except recently, it just plays the same few races over and over. And I'm like, as far as I know, there's bajillion races. So I'm kind of confused about that. And then also, they always do this thing.
She's recognizing a pattern. Oh no, she's really deep in this channel, guys.
I really do watch it a lot. Guys, I watch it a lot.
She starts being like, every day around 8 a.m. Central Time, they play this particular commercial, and I think it might be on a loop.
They go, hey, we didn't actually expect anyone to watch it 24/7. That's just how often it's available. And I was like, no, I'm clocked in. I'm getting every dime out of this free Tubi channel that I can.
Yeah. So, it's free. Yeah. So, you are getting every dime out of it. My question is, do they play they said, okay, when they announced it, they said they were playing podcasts. Do they play podcasts? Do you see podcasts on there?
They do a round table thing, but it's a NASCAR filmed and orchestrated thing. It's not it's not a podcast, I wouldn't say.
It's
I haven't seen one yet.
It's like actors on actors, but NASCAR edition.
Yeah. Christopher Bell was there, and I was like, huh, I know that guy.
I do know that guy. Not personally. We're never allowed near him. No, I was kidding.
Jesus.
I'm just joking. Okay, so they don't play podcasts, so that was a lie. But they play something that it maybe resembles a podcast. They play old races. I clocked in the other day, and they were just playing a early-ish, no, a late 2000s Daytona 500.
Yeah, they've been playing the 2014 one a lot, and they've been playing one from the late 70s a lot, and I've seen both of them a lot.
Right. And then, what else did they promise us? I watched a little bit of the modified race at Bowman Gray on there, they were like, oh, here's something new that we could show them, I guess. Do they have anything exciting programming-wise leading up to Daytona? Like, are they showing, like, anything fun to, like, make you want to watch Daytona? Or is it just going to be regular scheduled programming?
It's just the old Daytona races. That's all they're playing leading up to. Because, like, leading up to Bowman Gray, they would play old clashes and old Daytona clashes. So, like, it's on theme, but it's like, how many times can I watch the 2014 Daytona 500? I know what happens.
Do you think that the ones that they're selecting are specifically good Daytonas or just ones that they randomly have around? Okay.
Yeah.
This is a fun question for the audience because me and MJ would like to do a little deep dive in some old Daytonas. You know, maybe like let us know if you have a favorite and we can see if that's one that's on YouTube or something like that. And that would be fun. But I was kind of like, is this the one I'm watching because it's one that they've hand selected that it's good?
I think so.
Yeah. Not that it would ever be bad because it's a perfect race and everybody loves it.
Everything is perfect about the Daytona 500.
Everything is perfect. Okay. What else do I have? I think that might be it for our agenda. What?
I wanted to say that Catherine Legg is going to be racing in ARCA this weekend. This one's for the IndyCar fans. Or the Chili Bowl fans. What else has she done? Is that it? She's done other things.
For the, what is the name of her podcast? Throttle Therapy fans.
For the Throttle Therapy fans. For anyone who's ever bought an e.l.f. lip gloss. This one's for you. She is going to be, whoa. Oh my God.
For the audio listeners,
I have one by me too.
Hold it up. For the audio listeners.
Well, I'd have to rummage.
Oh, okay. Well, then better not. For the audio listeners, I'm holding up my e.l.f. Cosmetics lip oil in the color Jam Session.
Wow. So this one's for you, Andrea. Catherine Legg will be giving it her all at the ARCA race at Daytona. I think it's 200, if I'm not mistaken. She will be driving the 23, and the race is on at noon Eastern time on Sunday, I believe.
Hell yeah.
So keep your eye out.
Shout out Catherine Legg. Can I tell you something that I love about her podcast?
Yeah.
Not that I would promote other people's podcasts. You guys should definitely finish this episode before you go look at Catherine Legg's podcast, please and thank you. She did an episode with just like a good friend of hers that she used to do some endurance racing with. And her friend is going to be like a monthly visitor, a monthly guest. And every time she's on the show, she's going to title the episode Time of the Month. And I thought that's
funny.
I'm like, thank you, Catherine Legg. Like, that's good that you can make light of it and make like period jokes. I think that's funny.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, that does hit. And I bet when she thought of it, she's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, and her friend is like super cool. I don't know anything about her friend's racing career, and maybe I should like do some. I clearly don't even know her name, which is my B. I'm really sorry. But she's like very cool. She sounds like the type of lady that I would like to hang out with. She's like kind of badass. She is like a great foil to the prim and properness of Catherine Legg. I love it. But don't go listen to that until you've liked and subscribed on YouTube, given us 5 stars on Apple or Spotify, or followed us on TikTok and Instagram. That's the only way you can go watch Catherine's podcast. Those are the rules. Okay. You gonna watch the Super Bowl?
I'm gonna have it on while I do other things, I think.
So this is MJ and Andrea from the past. And hopefully we are recording this now, but then when you are listening to it, Patrick Mahomes is sad and has lost the Super Bowl.
Fingers crossed.
Okay. Alrighty. Say bye, MJ.
Goodbye.